So today I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways to create a marketing treasure box that's going to be like a magnet to draw clients to you and get you media exposure. So the first way that you can do it, of course, I've been there where at the beginning of my business where budget was exceedingly tight and I need to figure out a clever way to do it. So you can always try DIY. So take the shot list that I gave you, go out with a friend, hopefully who's really good with a camera, and try to create this package on your own. And the only thing I just want to caution you is just to make sure that you cull really diligently, and you make sure that whatever you're using to represent yourself really does do a beautiful job representing you. I guess I kind of think of it as my business is my baby, and I wouldn't necessarily want an amateur doctor working on my baby, and I wouldn't want an amateur photographer creating my branding strategy. But in the beginning, I get it. When you are broke, you need to do what you need to do. So just go for it. But if you can invest in at least one professional shot, that one shot that I would recommend would be a 3/4 shot. So that's like from waist up, because then you can crop it and use it for a brilliant headshot. But go for it. I mean, do the best you can, and hopefully you've got some brilliant photographer that can whip in and just create this for you. Now the next thing I just want to talk to you about, or the next way you could do it, is you can hire a photographer. Now I'd love to photograph everybody, but obviously I can't be everywhere. So you're going to need to look for a photographer, and these are some things that you're going to want to think about. You want to look at their portfolio online and see if it feels like it would work in one of the magazines that your ideal client is used to reading. If it feels like it's a little lower than that quality, I'd skip them. I'd go for somebody that really can nail that same look and feel. You want to meet with the photographer before you commit to anything and see how you get along with them. You want to feel like they could be your mate, because they're going to be responsible for pulling you out of your shell, because everybody has a mask that they put on when they first get in front of a camera, and they're terrified. So you need a photographer. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people do have camera anxiety. So you need a photographer that can pull you out and really get your emotions there and make it so that people can feel the real you, because that's what these images are about. They're so that people can know, like, and trust you. So you need to know, like, and trust your photographer so that they can bring that out of you. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure that they're a master at shooting for social media. There are special things that you need to know to shoot for that not every regular portrait photographer would have their head wrapped around. Different ways that you need to angle things, the different sort of style of images that you'll need. So make sure that they've done commercial photography before and have worked with other clients, and go look at the web pages of the people that they work for and see how they've been able to really shoot for the style of website that you want to create. You also want to find out where they've had their work published, because if they've never been featured in a magazine, if their work hasn't really been out there, well, your goal is to actually get these images featured in a magazine. So you want to make sure that this person is punching at the same weight of the magazines that you're able to, or that you're aiming to get into. The other thing you're going to want to think about is there's a whole minefield around this, and I'll probably create a whole nother video around what you need to know. But you need to find out what format they're going to provide the images in. Ideally, you want JPEG format. And what are the copyright rules around what you're going to be able to use? Is there a limit on how long you can use the image? Are they only giving you a 1-year license to use it, or is it an indefinite license? Are they wanting to provide it just as a print, or are they going to give you the digital file? Because you're going to need the digital file for what you're trying to do. You want to know how many images they're going to provide and at what cost. And more images isn't necessarily better. Better is better. You want to make sure the quality is as high as you can get, because these are going to be the tools you're going to leverage to get you into those magazines that previously were out of your league. You're going to be in that league. You're going to nail it. What is the resolution of the images they're going to give you? 72 DPI, dots per square inch is what it's called, is what works for screens. Like if it's online, if it's a blog or something like that. If it's print, you're going to need to have a 300 dots per square inch image, and they may end up charging you more for that. And you're also going to want to know whether they will do any post-production work on it. I mean, models, basically everybody in magazines has had some sort of post-production work done. You're not going to want to get in there with bags under your eyes and looking a little haggard. You're going to want somebody that can actually tidy up the things that you want tidied up. Not that they're going to remove who you are, but, you know, hey, a flippin' model has got heaps of post-production work done on her. I want mine. I don't let much get out. That's just me rough cut. It's the same thing. You need to be protecting your image and your brand. And depending on the sort of magazines that you're going into, you're going to want to make sure that that has got a high level of polish, and that polish comes in post-production. Are they going to provide hair and makeup for you? With all of my shoots, hair and makeup is included in it, and I do that because I handpick who my hair and makeup artists are, because I know what an amazing job they're going to do, but also because I know their personalities, and I know from years of working with them that if you've got a hair and makeup artist who is got a low emotional intelligence, it's going to completely short circuit your shoot. You want to make sure that it's somebody who's really gentle, lovely, and is exceedingly competent in what they're doing. So can they source somebody for you? And is that included in their price? You want to find out also, if you look at their portfolio, are they visual storytellers? Are they really going to be able to get something that's going to be editorial, photojournalistic, something that's really going to catch people's attention and be like, oh, that looks really cool? Or is it bog standard? Like, does every kind of photo that they've taken look relatively similar, just different people in the photos? So this is the sort of thing you want to wrap your head around. Right. Yes. Next point. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why you should go with me as your photographer. Besides the fact that we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun, I'm a master. I'm a master photographer with the New Zealand Institute of Professional Photography, and I've won over 40 awards for my commercial and fine art work, and that's national and international awards for that. And that's exciting, and that's really cool. But what makes me really the best person to choose to handle your branding is the fact that I have a really checkered past. And what I mean by that is, if you were to look at the trajectory of my path to becoming a photographer, it is like a snake. It is all over the place. But that in itself has been what's caused the richness of what I can offer. So basically, I've had 10 years of helping women to deliver their babies. So getting you to relax in front of a camera is easy as compared to getting you to relax to crank out a life form. I've spent 8 years managing and running and owning an organic blueberry farm, and that was quite an adventure, but means I am exceedingly pragmatic and completely competent and comfortable in a lot of environments. But before I ran that farm, I spent 10 years in the U.S. military. So I went from being enlisted as an electronics technician right out of high school and worked my way up, and I eventually resigned my commission when I had my son, and I was a lieutenant at that point. So worked my way up and spent time on amphibious assault ships, spent time in hospitals all over the place, traveled the world with the military. So quite confident working with guys and ladies. Now, my work has been featured, and I've got a portfolio with Vogue Italia. I have shot for Life and Leisure magazine, New Zealand's, I think, the most beautiful magazine in New Zealand. And I've shot for Oh Baby. I've had my images featured in, several industry magazines, like a whole portfolio of my work being featured, which is really cool. Made me happy. So basically, I'm skilled. I'm going to be able to handle whatever you throw at me, but more importantly, I am a people person, and I can pull out people and have them relax in any environment. I am equally happy on the back of a farm bike or back of a horse, up on an aircraft carrier, in a delivery room, or even in a fashion house. I can swim in all environments. And for the last couple of years, I've been really studying online marketing. It's been fascinating for me. Now, if you look at all of those other paths, all of them were in the healthcare setting or in the military setting. So the business world was new to me. So about 5 years ago, I decided to become a photographer. So all this has taken place, and all those awards and stuff have taken place in the last 5 years. And basically the muse tapped me on the shoulder and said, come on, time, you're an artist, you need to do this. And I love the whole art thing, but the business part of it scared the bejesus out of me. I just did not know how to make it work. And it took me a long time to figure it out. But now I've got an awesome studio, and I've got people working for me, and we're cranking in the money the way I wanted to be cranking in the money. And it's happy time in that regard. But that took me a while, and I had to learn the hard way, serious hard way. And the last thing I did, which was possibly the best move I've made, is I joined Marie Forleo's B School and got me connected to 12,000 entrepreneurs around the world who are all working to develop their online businesses. So it's been a wonderful community to be part of. And by being a part of that, I have learned what's worked and what hasn't, and I've really studied it from a visual branding and a visual imagery standpoint. And that's really one of the main things that I can bring too, is just the solid understanding of what it takes to be seen in the online world. Also, with what I bring to it is, for the past 5 years, that studio I was talking about is called the A La Mode Photographic Boutique, and it was a couture portrait studio that focused on making everyday women look absolutely extraordinary and feeling like the goddesses that they are. So one of the things that I can really share with you is I can make anyone look good, and that is my very best skill set, is I can bring that gorgeousness. It's like a vortex. I just suck out your amazingness, bring out your inner beauty, and let everybody see it. So that's my superpower. And with my images, you have unlimited usage right to them. I do amazing post-production work on it. Remember all those awards? Those had massive post-production done on them. And I will create a collection of images that's going to feed your marketing machine for over a year, and we create that in just one day. And I've got it nailed. I know exactly what I need to do, how to get in there, how to relax you, how to make you look amazing, and pull it out, right? Now, I also help you with your branding. We do that. I want to make sure that you really have a clarity around your branding before I ever pick up a camera, and that we're nailing telling your story. And so I help you with that process. I have a consultation before we ever shoot, and then afterwards I bring you into my fold and I teach you how to create, how to leverage the images that we have created. And I also help you by seeking out helping you to pick the very best images from the ones that we have. But the other thing that you really want to wrap your head around is that I'm going to be able to create images that fit specifically into your ideal client's world, right? So we're going to really nail that. I'm going to have you write down at least 3 articles that you're going to have written and love to have presented to in the magazines that are your dream magazines, and we're going to shoot and illustrate for those as well. I can also work in video. If you remember at the beginning of this video, there was a header and a footer. So like the beginning bit where you saw me running around doing my photographic thing and playing with my rabbit and stuff like that. And then the very end, you'll see that there's a footer, which is another little bit telling my story. Well, I can create a header and footer for you so that you can create videos just like this, easy as. You just plug in the beginning, you plug in the end, and you put your talking head bit right in the middle. So those are all components of things that I do. Right. And if you want to know what my price points are, you're welcome to look on my webpage. I have it right there, easy to see, and it's available at any time. So anyway, I hope that makes it really clear for you. If you have any questions, I look forward to hearing from you. Now, where you can go from here, if you do decide that you would like to work with us, make sure you fill in a pre-shoot consultation form. So that's on our website. There will be one probably just below this video, and that's going to help you. You just fill that in and somebody will be in touch about booking a shoot. Now, I know you're like, well, hold on, I'm in LA or I'm in New York or I'm in Paris. I can't have Mandi come shoot me there. Well, because she's in New Zealand. Well, I travel around. So if you get in contact with me, I usually have, like, I know I'm definitely hitting Australia frequently, but I frequently go to Australia for photo shoots, but I also do round the world trips once a year. So if you're thinking of having this done, get in touch with me and we can help possibly map my next trip around helping you out. So anyway, take care, and I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers. Bye.